just a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand. Yes, how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Where were you when you intersected with Bob Dylan?
This morning.
This morning. In July of 2018. Tell me about that.
I was sitting in my new chair over there, doing some writing exercises, some just like free writing, coming up with title ideas, and then associating with those titles, and then coming up with some rhymes, and then the next step would be maybe coming up with some verses. And I was like, how do I want to start this song? I was thinking about the title I was riffing off of was Wrong Way. And it reminded me of when my dad and I, like the first night we drove into Austin was December like 31st. Are there 31 days? Yeah, close enough. 31st. It was New Year's Eve
Of
1999.
1999.
New Year's Eve, turn of the millennium. Lyle Lovett was playing downtown.
Yeah.
And we had dropped our trailer off, our 27-foot trailer at McKinney Falls State Park, and we drove in to catch the show. And where I come from, like, there aren't that many one-way streets. Like,
Right.
there might be, like, if there's a train track or just something really bizarre, but, like, everything's two-way.
Right.
And downtown is, like, all one-ways. Everything's one way.
Mm-hmm.
And we went
The wrong way.
the wrong way. There were a lot of wrong way signs coming at us. So that's what inspired this. And I was like, I don't know how to write a song about this. Let me just pull up some Bob Dylan lyrics and just see, like, how does he start a song?
Right.
And I just randomly picked, like, Blowing in the Wind. I was like, that's kind of a intriguing title. Let me see what those lyrics are about. And I just started reading through, and I was like,
Oh.
he has these are such beautiful lyrics. And I was like, well, I wonder what that sounds like. And I was like, oh, I've heard that one before. Why don't I learn this one? And in my own style that could be appropriate for my lounge gig.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like this song needs to be heard.
Yeah.
This song needs to be heard.
And one of the things that I love about your interpretation of it here is that there is a softness that I don't get in. There's an there's an anger and an angst there's an edge. Better.
Yeah.
There is an edge to this popular Bob Dylan and that what I hear from you, I hear in this interpretation of this rendition. How do you call it? What do you call it?
The rendition.
What I hear from you is I hear a deep peace about it. There is a plaintive, not a plaintive quality in the sense of longing, but there is that's what's there, and it really comes across, and it takes me into my heart rather than into my opposition to, because these are very oppositional lyrics.
Yeah.
They're very confrontational. And what I love about what you're doing is that you're entering this at a different place. And this is the difference in 2018 than in the 1960s. I don't know exactly when it came out, but when it was introduced, there's a different time. And this gives us a chance, because I'm seeing in our society, there appears to be there are divisions, camps, tribes that we're moving, and we're forgetting that we're all cousins, that we're all here together, and that there is more unites us than divides us. It's so easy to do. That's what I see you doing with this song.
Yeah. Well, and what I think what's maybe bringing that out in me is I've been reading these interviews of songwriters, and the one I'm currently reading is of Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And like in my own songwriting practice, the best stuff comes from like my own story and my own inner struggle, whether it's
Yes.
whether it's literal or figurative. But what I see in these is like, I see myself in this song, and this is about me, not about our president.
Thank you.
Whoever.
Thank you. God, it's so easy for me to forget that.
Yeah.
It's so easy for me to forget. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How... Oh, that's wonderful. God, just you saying that, Rigel, has suddenly connected me, and I felt something just release inside of me when you did that. I was objectifying rather than subjectifying, and you helped me to subjectify this song.
Yeah.
Not just this song, but...
Yeah. And I don't know if I would have even... I've always had a really hard time understanding lyrics, like, since, growing up. I don't know if there's a dyslexia or something that I'm dealing with, but when it becomes about me, it starts to make more sense to me. And, yeah. So I am turning back to Bob Dylan a little bit, I think, for
how
inspiration.
neat to be able to see. This is going to be interesting to see what that is going to teach Rigel about Rigel,
Yeah.
and what it's going to teach Dennis about Dennis, because I have not been, other than Blowing in the Wind and a few of his, like a Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
I just did not spend time around Bob Dylan, knowing that he is a master, knowing that and accepting the fact that he is a master and that he has much to teach me. I have not been able to, or been willing to, take the time to do it. So I need your help. You can help to introduce me to the aspects of myself that Bob Dylan can teach me about Dennis.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with you.
Good.
Yeah.
Where are you today? You have been going through a series of 100 days of songwriting, correct?
I am on
With a group?
Yeah, with a group.
With a group, and where are you in July the 5th of 2018? Where are you in this process? And tell me what you are learning. Give us a little opportunity to get some window into the creative process. That's what I'm, as a writer and a comedian and a speaker, a performer, which I am taking your inspiration to, I need this inspiration. I can do the same thing as you are doing.
Well, I am on day 34. And
how many times have you gone through this process?
This is the third.
The third time.
Through.
And now you have invited a group, and you're taking a group through this, and you're on day 34.
I have done it with a group each time, because I can't do it alone. And I first just had a very small group, and then opened it up to the public, and then moved it over to Facebook, and there's a lot more interaction happening on Facebook,
cool,
which is cool. And this is about the time when it starts to feel like 100 days. Like the first 15, 20 days, I'm like cooking. I've got maybe some ideas that I have this like wave of momentum that I'm just riding. And then about day 25, day 30, I start to really feel it.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm lost. So it's a journey.
So what does lost, give me something that lost feels like in your writing today. Like what have you been, give us an example of being lost and how that manifests itself in the day. And so you have these lyrics on your phone. Do you transfer them over? Is that how?
No, I have a folder. These are just the iPhone notepad.
Good.
And they just start, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I go all the way up. I'm on day 35.
Good.
Yesterday I felt pretty lost. What actually started all of this off, I think, was probably 4 or 5 years ago. It was the 4th of July, and I wanted to write a snarky commentary on America. And it's just, this is my yang or yin, whatever.
Yep.
This is every year it comes out, and maybe that's just I need to just honor that and let it happen. But it always comes off as super preachy and not,
preach it, brother. Yeah. Come on.
So yesterday, I had been working on some of these lyrics, which is inspired by a Tom Waits lyric, actually, which is "All that you love is all you own." Mm-hmm. And I tried to work that actually into my song. It doesn't really work, but what it inspired me to do is tell the story of my real estate career and how that is like a commentary on American freedom and ownership. And so I have these lyrics that I put music to. I think if I can remember it, I can play you what I have.
Yeah. Come on.
Really,
show me the raw. Show me the raw.
This is the raw.
This is the bear stuff.
Okay. I decided to semi-retire when I was 19. Could watch the sunset sparkle on my passive income stream. No more paying loans or keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah, I just passed straight on through to the land of the free. Well, I attended a wealth seminar. At the end I took the bait. I got a license to sell real estate chorus, which is, it's been 16 years of selling God's green earth, and this is what I know. All that you love is all you own. I'm gonna pick up a rose and put down the phone. All that you love is all you own. I'm gonna pick up a rose and put down the phone. One last verse. I've been educating the public about the rights of the free. You can purchase the land and the sky and all that's in between. If you build up your credit score, that's all you really need to pass straight on through to the land of the free. Happy 4th of July.
I love it.
Well, you are very encouraging, Dennis.
I know, but what this so much says to me. I mean, there's a sense of what the dream is versus what it is versus where you're going versus how. There's a lot in there. That is wonderful.
Well, there was a lot of... So this has been my discovery this time around in the 100 Days of Songwriting.
Right.
And this is the first time I've applied this little discovery. So I'm hoping that it will lead to more like heartfelt stuff and maybe less preachy, but maybe it's not as preachy as I think. I don't know.
It is not preachy in the least.
Really? Okay.
No. This is the reason why is because the point of view is your point of view, not theirs. Even though you are, it's the difference between as if someone is preaching, but they're preaching from their experience. They're talking about themselves. You're talking about Rigel in this experience. You're not talking about the other people. You're talking about you going to that seminar, you going there, and then you going ahead and telling people that they can help it. But you're the one that has the insecurities. You're the one that has this is your story. It's not telling them how they need to be. It's you telling the story of you buying into this mythology. You buying into that that's what it can be.
That's good that that's conveying. Because that's part of this epiphany. I was going through one of my online course websites that I am just so into these days.
Yeah.
Creative Live actually is the name of this one. And you can do with Creative Live, you have to pay for the courses, but you get a free day. You can pick one session every day that's free. And these are very high level, like a lot of these websites, pretty much anyone can put together a course and put it on there. And,
sure.
And
thank God.
It's awesome. But this is like legit people on there. And this woman wrote a book. This woman wrote a...
Made me do a spit take there.
Yeah.
That's great.
All people are legit.
I know, but still, there is. I understand that. I understand how we separate the world, and so go ahead. Continue.
The creatives and the non-creatives, the legit and the non-legit.
Exactly.
And her course is about story, and it's based on this book she wrote called Wired for Story. And her kind of theory is based around, like, all good stories have to answer this question. What is the misbelief that has kept, what is my character want? And then what is the misbelief that has kept them from reaching that goal? And it takes some serious work to get to the misbelief, because that means I have to confront my own beliefs and start like really questioning them and asking, like, and being honest about, like, when I've had a misbelief that was, ended up not totally working out.
You mean like for Dennis, every single day?
Yeah.
1,000 minimum times a day that I will buy into the misbelief as opposed to realigning with that?
Yeah.
That's my story. You are telling the story of my life.
Yeah. Well, I have that many too, but I don't see that many yet. So.
No, I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it.
Yeah.
It is that it's the mist and the illusion, the mirror that gets fogged or distorted, like a funhouse mirror, and it distorts what I'm looking at. I think I'm looking at it, but in my perception, it doesn't look like it's not distorted. That's the weird part. Until I get some insight, and then I go, oh my God, look at the distortion. Look how much smaller I was seeing myself than I actually am. In the instant you were talking about when we first came in, before we were setting up the camera and we were working, you were talking about how when you read the Bob Dylan lyrics, you went, oh my God, and you immediately went into comparison mode.
Yes. Yes.
That is the killer of so much in my life. That comparison mode is truly the illusion. This is the place where I will believe. And what is her name?
Her name is, oh God.
Anyway, but story, just so that anybody that is watching can connect with her.
It's called Wired for Story.
Wired for Story. And okay, well, we'll put a link on it. We'll put a link right here on this.
Lisa Cron.
Lisa Cron.
C-R-O-N.
C-R-O-N. All right, good. Anyhow, so this is exactly the place where comparison. What is it's comparison that gets me out of and immediately takes me away from anything that I have unique to give.
To offer, yeah. Because those were my words, was like, this just makes me want to not write because these songs are so good.
Exactly.
And I'll never get there.
Exactly. And that's true, because you will never be Bob Dylan, because that slot's already taken. But there can never be, will never be, this essence of Rigel Thurston, this essence of Dennis Tardon. That's the unique slot that Bob Dylan could never fill. Bob could never fill that role. He could look at you and go, I could never be Rigel Thurston, and he'd be right.
Yeah.
And that's the place that I want to get. I want to manifest. I want to bring I want to express to the world who is the unique, most authentic Dennis Tardon. That's my job. It's not to be the Will Rogers, the Mark Twain, the George Carlin, the Bob Newhart. No.
Yeah.
I can never be them.
Yeah. And what she recommended is asking why, like a toddler, like just kind of nagging that why, and that follows a thread. And I never ask why I believe something. Like, I never do that until I started doing it. So I'm hoping that as I get more used to the misbelief, like what I want, the misbelief, and the story behind
would you re-say that with the word trust? I'm trusting that.
I am trusting that as I move into asking why I believe what I believe and being open to my beliefs being misbeliefs, then I can dig into stories that are more compelling. So
wonderful. Play us out, will you, dearest? So glad to be back after the after our brief hiatus.
Yeah.